Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Daniel Acthouse and I'm holding two Sun Visors. Let's sit inside the Panda and I'll explain why. Fiat owners will know that quite a lot of the time parts tend to be quite plasticky and a bit brittle. We've learnt that a couple of times already, and basically my brother went to pull the Sun Visor down and twist it to the side and it snapped off just in his hands like that. It's a very easy mistake. It's happened to Pandas before, I've seen on Facebook. So basically a Sun Visor is meant to look like that, isn't it? You got that there and you clip on that side. Really it should be like that, and it'll go down there and it'll block the sun, which is really good. But this is what ours looks like, and basically the clip this side has just completely broken off. It's not gluable because you'd have to sit there for about 12 hours holding it up, which just really isn't going to work. So I got on Messenger to a guy that was breaking a Fiat Panda. Could be any Panda because the Sun Visor is just generic anyway. And he had still a passenger Sun Visor. So we agreed a price and he sent it over. It's arrived today. So I thought I may as well make the most of this occasion. Dark occasion, things breaking on a Fiat, it's unknown. And I thought I'd film a little YouTube video. So that's what I'm doing today. It's probably not the most thrilling. There'll be more thrilling Panda content coming later on in the future. But obviously with UK lockdown 2.0, it's not as easy to do, but it'll all happen again next year. All the exciting content, going to racetracks and seeing stuff. So yeah, in the meantime, thank you for your support. Remember to subscribe. And let's just get on with fitting this Sun Visor and see how exciting of a job it actually is. I could probably show it a bit better with the other side of the camera with my lovely reflection in the mirror. So basically the clip goes in the roof like so, screwed in nicely, and then that just clips in there ready to swivel. I can't actually click it in because I haven't got three hands, unfortunately, as cool as it would be. But basically it's just snapped off. This one here, let me just get the old Sun Visor, it's all very fiddly. The clip has just snapped off on that side and it's not repairable. So this is ready for the bin along with the clip, but this is the new one and it's fairly straightforward, but for someone like me who's a bit incapable of anything, it's probably going to take a little while. But first of all we need to take the screw out, and then we need to try and poke it in the roof in such a way that the whole car's not going to fall to pieces. Really, to be honest, I need a cameraman for this because I'm going to do everything one-handed, and I just know at some point I'm going to lose something because it will fall to the ground and I'll never ever see it again. It's quite a long threaded screw, this one. So let's get this out, and then, as I said, let's try and poke things into the roof. This is the beauty with most Fiats. I know you get this in Seicentos and Multiplas and Pandas as this one. I love this little shelf. You have a really tiny glove box. As I mentioned in the review I did, go check it out, it'll be in the description. But you've got this thing on top, which we used to store teddy pandas that speak to me. But yeah, you can just store screws in there. When we first got the car, the radio didn't work, so we had to take the radio out and everything, but we just used that as the shelf, and it was perfect. It really did the job very well. So let's put the rusty screwdriver away, and let's try and attempt. I have to take the clip off to put it in the roof and then reattach the Sun Visor, but let's just see if we can bung it in without doing any of that. It's trying to get it through the actual roof and not the headlining, which is probably going to be the most challenging bit. We might have to fold the Sun Visor. It's hard to do. There we go. Sun Visors, they do wiggle. Wiggle's probably the wrong word for it. Oh, bit of a faff already. It's probably just me. I mean, this is new levels of engineering for me. So let's try and get it in such a way that it'll actually go in. Stand by, viewers. So what I've actually done is I've taken the pin out of the Sun Visor, and there's like this greasy stuff inside, so it's probably not the right thing to do. But oh well, let's try and get it in properly. But yeah, I've taken it off. It's making a bit of a mess. So let's put the pin alone into the roof and then attach the Sun Visor, because otherwise it just doesn't work with the actual shape of the roof. You see, that's so much better. That just went in easy as pie. Just sort of goes in, blop, and then the screw goes in, and then you attach the Sun Visor, then clip it in. It's actually a really super easy job, thankfully. So let's try and get the screw in. It is a case of just finger tightening the screw in, because it's probably quite difficult to try and get the screwdriver in there because the pin's in the way. Oh, the stupid thing. So it's just finger tight, I think, as much as you can. And I'll probably find a solution later on. That's far from ideal. We can't really do finger tight. It's going to have to go a bit further. But can I? Yeah, I can twist it. I can twist the pin. So that's made it a lot easier. It can actually be quite snug. There we go. Then that pin is in now. So, God, it's making such a mess. I don't know if you can see that, the yellow stuff. That basically, the sun visor can go back into its little hole. If I break this one as well, that'll be deeply embarrassing. In fact, let me place the camera down and I can do it with two hands because it's quite daunting. Right, there we go. Can't see my face. Well, you can actually. Let's try and put this sun visor in. Idiotic thing. You see, there we go. In you go. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, which is probably proving that it wasn't meant to come out in the first place, but let's try and get this thing in. That's probably a bit easier. Do it at a certain angle. Oh, God's sake. Italian cars, you know, it's not just engines and stuff. In fact, engines have not been a problem with this car. Electrics, you know, we've had the old little problem with some people walking by. Power steering, but that's been sorted by a new battery. But it tends to just be a bit like shoddy interior work and stuff like that things just go really wrong. But oh well, you know, it makes car ownership interesting when things go wrong, I suppose. Oh, God. It's an absolute workout. You don't want to see this. Cut. At last, we have a sun visor, because the past few weeks, maybe month or two, it's been dazzling and I've gone like this and nothing's been there. So at last my retinas are saved with the wonderful invention that is a sun visor. Really makes sense. It's the small things in a car that just make it work. I really like that. I'm chuffed to bits as well. I have fit my first ever sun visor on a Fiat Panda 100 HP. Fiat, employ me. Seriously though, I know this YouTube channel is slowly turning into a sun visor appreciation society, but it's fantastic. Although, in a car like this, where it's so small, the windscreen is so minuscule, it's sort of not a sun visor in a way, it's sort of a view visor, because you just sort of can't see a thing. But then again, it's really nice. So thank you for watching, if you've watched it and you've made it this far. If you want to see more random videos like this on the Panda for a little Paolo Pandemonium series, then do let me know down in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out the other videos as well, because there's a full detailed walk around review and rev and whatever of this car. There will be a drive coming soon, hopefully, and next year, oh my God, it'll go content mad. But remember to follow me on social media at DanielCars05, and until the next video, stay safe and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Bit of bonus footage before the end of the video. We're going to check the oil. I know, it's so exciting this. Wonder if the microphone will stretch to the actual car. That's the thing with wires. If this YouTube channel proves successful, then I can go wireless. Let's have a look. Yes! Absolutely adore the pop of a bonnet. Let's try and do this before there's some sort of blizzard, because this weather is actually taking a turn for the worse. Let's have a look. Dipstick. It's been stood still, so nothing's been sloshing around. This car only uses a tiny bit of oil. So let's have a look in the marker. Yes. Probably needs topping up a tiny bit. It's just under halfway. We like to keep it sort of in the middle. But this engine, I'm going to get the camera, because this engine, it never fails to impress me. I think it looks superb. I'm getting drenched. And I'm tripping over wires. Jeez. There we are, with my lovely paintwork on the 100 HP and 16 valve. I just think it looks great. And again, a reminder, this is a 1.4 16 valve engine, naturally aspirated. The Abarth 500 is this engine, just with the turbo, which means it's probably about 40 horsepower in the lead, but you don't really need it, because this engine is fun as it is. Anyway, I'm going to top up the oil, and yeah, I think we'll call it quits. I'm not going to film that, because it's probably a bit lifeless and a bit dead, and also I probably spill oil everywhere. So thank you for watching, and this actually is the end of the video. Goodbye.